Good. Okay, start the music.
Hello everyone, welcome to Coach, where people who could have been coaches now have alternate careers. My name is Rama Ramni. I live in Seattle, நல்ல மழையான ஏரியா. And அந்த சீசன்னால புக்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குது என் சைட்ல. So now I know Priyesh for a long time. So சின்ன வயசுல இருந்தே we are friends. So we have the passion for cricket. So the goal here is to talk about cricket, anything around cricket, movies and so on. So over to you, Priyesh.
Hi, I'm Priyesh. I live in Germany. I am a serial entrepreneur and avid cricket fan. So we will see what happens in the future, but we want to buy CSK one day. So this episode we are reviewing or previewing the Australian series and why they rested the top players, and we will analyze what they are going to do India, and then that is the episode. So what do you think, Rama? They rested Kohli and Virat. I mean Kohli and Rohit.
See, I know I'm not for this resting at all, right? Especially before like such a big tournament. My feeling is it's not like they've had a heavy workload or whatever, and if they had, then they should have been managed better. So my intention is, if these were your top guys, then you should have been just playing them. If you want to try a few people, then the question is, you had all this time to experiment, and Rahul says that he has never tried experimenting. So it seems a little, I would really like to have a few things really rock solid. If Rohit and Gill are your openers, then they should open. Because opening, as you know, is like a rhythm, right? I mean, ரெண்டு பேர் வந்து இத்தனாளா வந்து சேர்ந்து ஆடி இருக்காங்க, suddenly you separate them and now you're going to try somebody else. That just throws things off. So I'm not for resting those two.
And Rohit was getting into form now. So form is the main thing going forward. So I don't know why he rested himself and why Kuldeep and Hardik. I can maybe understand Hardik workload and balancing his fitness. Maybe Kuldeep, they don't want to show him off, but in the 1 year there has been so much video of him that it doesn't make sense at all. But we have got Chennai boys, Washi and Ashwin back. But the question is, Rohit in the press interview said we are getting back Ashwin for experience sake, and we have Tilak Verma, who is not experienced at all.
நான் செவனேந்தானா போய்க்கிருந்தேன், யாரு வம்பு தும்புக்காச்சும் போனா
Tilak Verma ஓடமாட்டியே.
So viewers, if you want to see how we dissected Tilak, watch the first episode. But because our Axis is injured, they are trying Washi and Ashwin. What happens if they do well in the 2 or 3 matches and Axis is back? Will they drop Tilak and play 4 spinners in the squad?
Yeah, I think, for me, as much a big fan of Ashwin, right, we all know that he should have gotten a longer rope in 1 day, right? 4 years, he probably lost time. Bringing him now, I don't see the point, right? They missed the trick by not having a right-arm spinner, period. And a right-arm leggy would have been perfect, right? But it's okay. But even with an off-spinner, they bringing now him as a thinking about, hey, Akshar got injured, now I'll bring in these 2 folks. And to your point, if they play well, do they really stand a chance? Or are you just trying to, how long do you want to try so many of these options? And now it could be a problem of abundance, or it could be a problem of anybody else feeling like, am I secure? Is somebody else going to take my spot? It creates all these needless things, right? So,
but if they want to try them, they had a window of 12 to 18 months. ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணல. So We don't know what the thought process is. I think they tried Washi up the order in
Mm-hmm.
T20 to see whether he can fit the role as a pinch hitter, as a left-hander, which they tried with Akshar also.
Mm-hmm.
So, what will the composition be if they do well in the
Yeah.
coming matches? But the only thing India has got is they don't have to be bothered about carrying a players because it is in India. So
India. Yeah.
anybody gets injured, then they can call any other player. So what's
ஏறா
the
பஸ்ல ஏறா பஸ்லன்னு சொன்னா வந்துருவாங்க பசங்க.
ஆமா.
உன் பேர் என்ன? டேவிட். இன்னையில இருந்து உன் பேர் டிராவிட்.
Like Washi was in Bangalore, got a call at 1 in the morning and came and played in the finals in Sri Lanka. Andamari. So
Yeah.
he had to go to Chennai to take his passport.
Yeah.
அவ்வளவுதான். So
Hmm.
so Andamari. So but what happens to Iyer and Surya? Iyer was in good nick against Pakistan in the short time.
Mm-hmm.
And Sky, they haven't given him a chance. So I don't know what again Sky and Trilak are in the squad for, because they are both batsmen. Okay?
Correct. See, I think the game is changing quite a bit. If you look at what Lanka has done when we saw the Asia Cup, right? A lot of really good batsmen who can bowl reasonably well, right? It's not about somebody who can just fill in, like throw like a few overs around. Even the two off spinners that they had, right? The styles were different, but they're reasonable bat. I'm a big fan of Akshar. Even though I know that you feel his bowling has dropped a little bit, I agree on that. But I think he's somebody who seems to go pinch hitting if need be. நம்ம சீகா ஸ்டைல அடிக்கவும் முடியும், தேவைப்பட்டா காடா இல்லாட்டி is able to stabilize an innings as well. And that's where I worry about India getting to like a 60 for 3, 18 overs, and then you have an Ishan Kishan, you have a Hardik Pandya, you have a Jadeja. All the three of them, they can essentially go hot, but what can they really mellow and build an innings? And Akshar seems to have that steady mindset to do it.
Temperament.
Correct. Now Ashwin seems to be special for every World Cup. Like he came into 2020 World Cup in the last minute as well, right? Playing in India, and Ashwin is going to be a weapon, but I don't see why right now. And
I think he has got a hotline to Dravid. That's all it is. Okay, but correct. I will miss him if he is in the squad, because his channel will be empty. Now it's அவன் வந்து கோட்டி சோட்ரி is the next thing is come up. That means I don't know whether he's sending a message that he's in the squad for the World Cup. So
God. See, I think avanu Rahul vera sama dost. I mean, all that is good. I think he'll earn his spot, but my thing is about strategy and making changes in the last minute, right? இந்த எக்ஸாமுக்கு படிச்சுட்டு ஐஐடி எக்ஸாமுக்கு 2 நாள் முன்னாடி இந்த கோனார் நோட்ஸ் மாதிரி எடுத்து படிக்கிறது, வாட் இஸ் ஆல் திஸ், ரைட்? யூ நீட் டு ஹாவ் திஸ் prep and a proper plan, and we said that this is what Rahul and Rohit will bring and so on. I think Shastri and Kohli did a better job if I look at the way they handled, even though only Vijay Shankar was a miss in 2019, right? And Vengendra vandan, when we kept asking those questions. Ana inge paatha there are like 3-4 positions you don't know who's batting, evanada kondu varan, ivan yaara, இந்த ஜவான் படத்துல இந்த கதை எங்கடா போறதுன்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி தாறுமாறா they are putting stuff around. So I feel
and I don't know how many venues or matches we will play 3 spinners.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so why the test now is the question. I mean, I know Akshar is the base case for the test, right? But how many matches will be play with the 3 spinners? Because Jadeja and Kurcha, I mean Kohli will play. Okay, most of the games. So yeah.
See, again, with all this, India could win. Okay. But
ஆமாமா.
that's not the point. The point is, from a strategy, is it what they are doing? And just இது வந்து last minute அடிச்சு ஏதோ வந்து first rank வாங்குற மாதிரி can happen. But then that's not what we want, right? You want a methodical process of just analyzing and what they missed. I truly think that they did miss the right arm spinner in general and right arm leggy. I don't know what happened to right arm leggies that we had so many in the
Uzi is playing in England.
Yeah, I think UE have the Chaval is past his prime madri feeling, and then
But we don't have anybody now, because that guy for KKR was very new. That guy from the street they picked up.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there has not been any consistent performance.
Yeah.
Okay, but they missed a stick for sure.
Correct.
But what will happen if Sky and Iyer scores big runs in these 3 matches when the big guns are rested?
See, for me, Iyer, I think fitness and whether he's been unlucky or whatever, right? They've given him chances, right? I think if this is the case, Sanju Samson was a lot more consistent and solid from that standpoint. But the thing with Sky is he's not good. They tried him at 1 drop, 2 drop, right? And he's not the kind when you give him like 20, 30 overs or 40 overs to bat, he cannot do it, right? He's not proved it. So I would rather see that the only spot where he can vie for is come down the order, and then you have like a few overs, right? 15 overs, and then it's like a 20-20 for him. And for him, right, the pressure is off. It's a 20-20 game. Go for it. He can do whatever scoops he wants, right? Now the question is, do you have that spot in 6, 7, 8 where Sky can play?
And that's what we spoke about in the last episode.
Correct. So then, what are you doing with Sky? Right? So it's not clear. Adhe madri, see, KL Rahul, they said he's solid, he came back and he's now proved it in some aspects. My worry is when you put a keeper who's not a typical keeper. Dravid had to do it. But that was the time where India had to squeeze in that extra batsman and in trying conditions. I'm just, if Ishan Kishan has earned his spot, which is what it looks like, right?
He has to keep it. That's all it is. Yeah.
And at that point, right, look at the top order, right? A right-hander in Rohit, a right-hander in Gill, right-hander in Kohli, right-hander in Rahul, and then you bring Ishan Kishan, and then you ask yourself, then 5 has to be a lock for Ishan, right? For what he has proved. And then he's also the joker spot where you can play him at 1 opener if need be, 1 drop if need be, pinch hitter if need be. So just give him the keeping and give him the security that, hey boss,
and definitely is a better keeper than Rahul.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously the traditional keeper. So with those 5 spots being interesting, Iyer comes into why in the top 5. I think he doesn't go to 6.
No,
Sky comes into 6 possibly, but that's Hardik Pandya's spot, right?
No, if you get him, then we have to not play Thakur or Aksar. So we will be weak in the bowling department. Though Thakur gives 8 or 9 per hour, he still takes a wicket or 2 on the money.
I mean, see, Shardul Thakur, they call him the Indian bottom and Indian beefy and all those things. I am not sold entirely, right? And it's India. This is not the trying conditions like England or wherever the ball will slightly, because he needs that. He's not express, and then he will leak runs, but he's got the knack of getting wickets. If you really need an all-rounder, I think Hardik has earned it in the last 12 to 18 months. He's come back with a lot of vigor. Aksar, if he ups his bowling a little bit and gets back to the olden days where he was a really lockdown spinner where he can not leak runs, then Aksar is going to be in the spot. Jadeja is definitely there from what he sort of proved. So you have like 3 all-rounderish players. And so that's where I'm thinking that at 6, Sky is not there. So some of the strategy is a miss. And even the captaincy for me, I think captaincy or rhythm now, right? Rohit has to figure out that you are in the, even if you are trying new players, you are trying them in new conditions, in new match situations. Are you exercising yourself as a captain? How are you going to move them around and all those things, right? So giving
And
it to Rahul.
if you have a new bowler who is coming in, you have to gauge when to play him or when to bowl in. So you
Correct.
can't say I will come and Ashwin is in the squad and match three I will play Ashwin when you have not captained him for 24 or 36 months in a one day.
Correct.
Uh,
Correct.
mm,
So, and then you give it to Rahul, right? And Rahul is a captain for a couple of games. Then he's going to go back to the bench. So,
mm.
if Hardik is the vice captain, like you pointed
Ama.
out, right? If Hardik is the vice captain and Rohit is the captain, at least you should play Hardik and
Mm,
both should not be out at the same time,
ama.
right?
Mm, mm,
So, I am sort of not, and then I know this is for the first two games, and then you
mm,
change for the next three,
mm,
and so on. So it's very interesting. I feel like Sundar needs to be given a chance. Age is on
ama.
his side.
Ama.
He's played really well in some of the
Ama.
test
Ama.
matches, right?
Ama.
So,
Mm. I
and
mean, after the Australian series, Kunjo injury kept him away. But
yeah,
whenever he's got a chance, he's not been bad,
correct.
above average with the ball and bat, and better fielder than Ashwin for
Correct.
sure. Yeah. Mm.
See, and then you continue the same rhythm of having at least three left-handers in the team.
Ama.
You have Ishan Kishan, you have Jadeja.
Mm.
Then instead of Aksar, you play
Ama.
Washington Sundar, and then he's still a left-hander,
Ama.
and then you have that thing going with you
Ama.
as well, right?
Mm.
And because I should see how many off spinners that Lanka, Pakistan, they probably have some off spinners, right?
And if you see also England squad, and we will cover every squad in detail in next episodes. You have Moin, where my update is there. Liam Levinson is there.
Ah, correct.
Root can bore some
Yeah,
if needed. So right arm they don't have a problem at all, and then they have Rashid
right.
is matured a lot now.
Yeah,
So they have also the balance of off spin and leg spin or whatever.
right.
So if you see Aksar and Jadeja, they are some to some. They are
Correct.
they need a wicket which terms to be more
Effective.
ama.
Yeah,
So we don't have wicket taking bowlers or spinners. Then Kuldeep.
correct. Yeah, so I think this Australian series was a great time. You're playing like a really solid team
Mm.
before the World Cup in India conditions. I think they could have done a proper exercise rather than it looks like a weird experiment. Net, right?
Ama. Mm.
They could have kept some of these things true. In the end, right? India may come out, we may win here, and so
Yeah,
on. But that doesn't matter. It
yeah.
all matters is how did we sort of approach this. So I'm a little disappointed from that standpoint. As always, coach, என்ன வேணா சொல்லலாம் சைடுல உட்காந்து உன் காசா என் காசா.
Seri. So we will review the series after the series is done and get into more depth. If the people we are talking about score runs or take wickets, what is the shape of the team? And the next episodes we will also dissect the professional squad of every team, or because I think 28 is the cutoff or 27th is the cutoff for the teams to give the final list. But I think New Zealand and England have said this is the team we are coming with. I think they won't change it. That is what we will do next episodes, and stay tuned and give us your love by liking and sharing this channel, and see you soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.